Now over here we've got one of the most popular businesses in the neighborhood, in the barrio, Churreria Avenida. Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks, out and about today with an update video, a bit of a chat about what's going on here in Spain. Taking the dog for a walk. It's about 10 to 9 in the morning, and deciding to do this now because the days here currently are very, very hot. Forecast to get up to something like 40 degrees today. So if you don't do things in the morning early, very difficult to get things done, especially when it comes to walking the dog, because as we know, dogs should not be walked in extreme temperatures. So that's why I'm getting things done now. Now it's a fairly quiet day as normal here. Hopefully we'll see a few more people than we have in recent videos. People have said that the area that I live in is very quiet. That is true, but there are a few people out and about today. And we'll go to an area where we should see quite a bit of activity. So let's go. Now, as we can see ahead of me, a few people out and about today doing their morning exercise. Mainly women. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women out and about doing their morning routine, trying to get fit, and a lot more people out and about doing exercise nowadays after the pandemic. People trying to get fit, people looking after themselves a lot more than they did pre-pandemic, in my opinion. Myself included, because as you guys know, I've been on a bit of a fitness kick recently, trying to shed a few kgs. So I'm also out and about a fair bit. Now I'll take the dog off the leash here so she can have a bit of a run around. Just have to be careful that she doesn't eat anything. So as we can see, there's a fair bit of rubbish lying around up here. I'll tell you why that is the case in a minute. Now the first thing I want to talk about today is the rocky relationship that Spain has with two countries to the south, Morocco and Algeria. A very rocky relationship over the years with those two countries, Morocco especially, and recently we've seen that the relationship with Algeria has also worsened because Spain has decided to join forces or side with Morocco, and Algeria doesn't like that. And as we know, Algeria supplies gas to Spain, so a little bit complicated with regard to future gas supplies, apparently. And I read the other day that the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has complained to Europe that these two countries to the south of Spain are constantly blackmailing Spain because of immigration, because of natural resources that they have, all of these things. Hey, where'd you get the stick? Where'd you get that stick? Where'd you get that stick? Hey, drop that stick. Drop it. Drop the stick. Drop the stick. Good girl, good girl. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. And let's be honest, these two countries seem to be constantly blackmailing Spain for one reason or another. As I said, whether it's related to immigration, because as we know, a lot of African immigration comes through those two countries, so they get paid a lot of money apparently to stop the immigration flow to Europe. So the dog's found a couple of friends here. A bit of a run around with them. As we can see, all of this rubbish that is lying around, and that's what we have to be careful with here with dogs. So basically, if you don't want illegal immigrants to come into your country and you want to maintain gas supplies, you have to get on well with these two countries, and they don't get on well with each other, so that also complicates things a little bit. Now the reason there is so much rubbish around here is because the other day they had a music festival on here. You can see people cleaning up that mess at the moment. The dog's got a plastic bottle there. That's what we have to try to avoid. Vamos! I'm going to put her on the leash because I've got a controller here now, and basically it takes days and days to clean up the rubbish that is left after these festivals, and half of it just blows away up there into the pine forest that we have, and it's a really disgusting look at the moment what we've got going on here, and when the council's going to come and clean it, who knows. And there we can see they're taking down the stands, the concert area that was in action last weekend. And this is also the area where they hold the local fiestas. We can see there Auditorio Miguel Rios. If you're not familiar with Miguel Rios's work, he is a singer, quite a famous rock and roll singer here in Spain back in the 1970s and 80s. I think he still tours. He's probably in his 70s now, but as I said, pretty famous back in the day, and they named this area here after him. And if you like a bit of Spanish rock, definitely check out Miguel Rios. Might be a little bit dated now, but back in the day, as I said, very popular. And I like a few songs of his, one called Santa Lucia, quite a good song. So Spain's rocky relationship with its neighbours to the south, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't want immigration, as I said before, illegal immigration, because that causes political problems in Spain, right-wing parties and the like. You have to depend on Morocco and Algeria to stop it, and that's why they have one over you, and also energy as well. Now we're going for a walk down a relatively new part of the city here. We've got those houses over there to the right. I think they're selling for around 600,000 euros at the moment. A lot of activity on this avenue, people off to work, taking the kids to school, people out and about, and all of those flats that we can see, or apartments there, are, as I said, relatively new, built in the last few years or so, and quite expensive because we're going through a housing price boom at the moment here in Spain. 600,000 for those ones over there on the right. Very expensive at the moment, property. And they've gone for the apartment style. Where I live, it's houses. Here, apartments, because obviously you can get a lot more council tax through apartment blocks than you can with individual houses. Money, money, money. Now over here we've got one of the most popular businesses in the neighborhood, in the barrio, Churreria Avenida. Everybody here loves their churros or their porras in the morning with their hot chocolate or their coffee. And one of two churro businesses in this area. I quite like this concept here of exercise areas in the parks, but again, the rubbish aspect, letting it down, bin being knocked over, rubbish all over the ground, and as I said, that rubbish flies all over the neighbourhood. But apart from that, nobody using the exercise machines at the moment, but I imagine that every now and again people would hop onto these things in order to keep fit after a big breakfast of churros. Hola, ¿qué tal? Una gallega, por favor. Sí. Gracias. Hasta luego. Now I just got some bread at my favourite bakery in this area, Levadura Madre. I think it's a chain. I think they're all around Madrid, if not Spain, but very good bread. And I think I caught some of the prices there, so you can check out what we pay for bread at that particular bakery. And when it comes to bread, my personal favourite is the gallega, barra gallega. Now, as I said before, this is a relatively new area called the Boulevard. Lots of different shops here. We've got a sushi restaurant, fruit shop, another restaurant here. So lots of restaurants. Over there we've got a supermarket, more restaurants, quite expensive restaurants. And of course, having so many apartments in the area makes these businesses do okay, I think. And if you come here at the weekend when there's outdoor seating here, it gets very, very busy indeed. We've even got a vegetarian restaurant in Rivas now, coffee bakery, a beef restaurant, so a bit of a contradiction, vegan restaurant there and a beef restaurant here. And on the corner, just to rub it in to the vegetarians and vegans, we've got a burger restaurant. So meat and burger restaurants still the favourite choice of Spaniards, even though there are more and more vegetarian, vegan restaurants popping up around the place. Now in front of me there we have one of these betting houses. They've become quite popular in recent times as well. Sportium, where you can go and place bets on sporting games and other things like that. I think it's the Spanish version of William Hill. But the current government is trying to ban that type of business, saying that they are no good for society. I think the consumer minister has a personal vendetta against those betting shops in the barrios here in Spain. Here you can get an idea of the apartment buildings that are going up in this part of Spain. Sorry about the noise, but somebody's working away on a construction site there. As we can see, these apartments don't look too bad, and they stretch all the way down the street. So a huge block of apartments. And on the other side of the street, we've got these modern looking houses, terraced houses, in these, what they call here, urbanizations. These ones over here are new. These ones are a little bit older. They look quite luxurious. Now, the other thing I want to talk about today is the heat wave that we're currently experiencing here in Spain. Very hot temperatures in the majority of the country. And is it just me, or are the summers more intense, and are they starting earlier? That seems to be the question on everybody's lips at the moment. Hotter summers starting earlier, and unbearable temperatures in the middle of June here currently. We saw the other day that the Spanish Weather Agency has warned people visiting this country, tourists and the like, to be prepared for extreme conditions, hotter temperatures than normal, in the 40s. So people coming from the cooler European countries, the cooler UK, could be in for a bit of a shock when they get here this summer, unfortunately for a lot of people. That is, of course, if people from the UK are still planning a holiday to Spain. You never know. From what I'm reading in the comment section, people are going to other places like Mexico, Croatia, Greece, keeping away from Spain. So we'll see what the numbers are like this year regarding tourism. Now I'll turn the camera around and we can see a pool behind me. It looks very attractive. I would love to jump in that pool at the moment, but unfortunately it's not my block of flats. So extremely hot temperatures in Spain currently, and what the summer's going to be like, I've got no idea. But as soon as I can head to a cooler climate, the better for me. And another thing about these hot temperatures is the amount of bushfires that start as a result. There was a serious one the other day in Sierra Bermeja in Malaga, near Estepona, just behind Estepona. And apparently 3 people have been arrested because of that fire for starting it. I don't think it was as simple as them starting it with a cigarette butt or deliberately lighting it that way, but apparently they have been arrested for sheer negligence for using heavy machinery at a time when they shouldn't be using it. And of course that provoked sparks, I believe, and that caused the bushfire. So that is the problem that we have. Not only do we have extreme temperatures, but also the risk of bushfire. Now I'm about 50 meters away from another churro shop, and all I can smell in the air is the smell of that grease that's burning the churros, or cooking the churros. So I'm going to show you that shop, and as I said before, a very popular business in this area. People love their churros con chocolate in the morning. So let's go and see if we can find this churro shop. And there it is, just behind the bus, Churreria Danny. And we can see the pictures of the churros there, and one guy on the terrace there enjoying his breakfast. I'm not really a huge fan of the churro. Some people here are. They have it once a day, once a week. They have their breakfast with churros, but not me. Maybe once a year if I feel like it. But I'm not one of these regular churro eaters in this country. And let's be honest, it's not the healthiest breakfast going around. So I'm on the home stretch now. The dog is tired, obviously affected by the heat more than anyone here. But she loves to get out and about, have a bit of a run. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's around the only time that we can do it. I've got the bread here, as we can see, my barra gallega, my favorite type of bread. And if you come across this bakery here in Spain, I recommend it, the Levadura Madre, as we can see there. So I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out, give us your opinions on Spain's relationship with those 2 countries to the south, Algeria and Morocco. Give us your opinion on the heat wave that we're currently experiencing here in Spain. Are summers here in Europe getting hotter earlier? Let us know what your opinion is. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.